Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Welcome to the Lazy Book Club. Our pick for July, we will be reading With a Vengeance. And if you guys don't know what it is, Lazy Book Club is just a super chill book club. I say it every time. The point is that we just pick a book. We generally read either fantasy or mystery. Sometimes we throw in a little horror in there for October, but generally it is fantasy, romantasy, or mystery. And it is a read at your own pace kind of book club. I release a video, vlog, full vlog, spoilers, etc. either at the end of the month, so either at the end of July or the beginning of August. We are a bit behind. But I'm back on track now that I have finished With a Vengeance. I did finish it already. I'm doing this intro actually after I finished the book already because I got really sick when I was starting this, so there was no way I was going to be able to talk at all. I am still sick. You can probably hear a little bit of the congestion, but yeah, we went on that cruise and it got me, man. It got me. I feel like I get sick on every single cruise. So anyway, I am filming this intro a little bit late, but we are reading With a Vengeance, the new Riley Sager book. And like I've said before, we are going to get into spoilers. The point is that I read the book, release a full vlog, and it is full spoilers. I'm not gonna have a spoiler warning because the whole point of this vlog is the spoilers. At this point on, if you have not read it and you want to, definitely go read it first and then come back and watch the video. If you don't care or you have already read it and you want to move on to the spoilers, I will see you guys in the spoiler section. But yes, let's get reading With a Vengeance by Riley Sager. I was unfortunately correct about being sick. Which really sucks. Like, I sound even worse than I thought I would. I'm sure this is coming out. Yeah, this is coming out after the book unboxing. This is probably coming out Wednesday. I am very much sick. I am very much sick and very grumpy about it. I thought it was good. Normally I get sick on the plane ride like before the cruise, and then I'm sick on the cruise. And this time I was like, oh my god, I'm okay. And then, yeah, no. Unfortunately. Oh, that's so annoying. So yeah, I feel very unwell. Anyway, the goal today, I'm already behind. I know I am, but my goal is to read With a Vengeance entirely today between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. because the book is told from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., but I'm sick and I'm not staying up all night. I can't do that. I used to work third shift, and we are very suspicious that that is one of the causes of some of the stuff going on. Third shift, not good for chronically ill girlies. Like, it's really not. My body did not handle third shift well at all. So I am a bit behind. It is 10:18, so I do have quite a few sections. I got 3 sections to read, and hopefully I can get through that before 11, and then we can kind of get on a schedule. So we're gonna see how feasible it is. Like, it might not be feasible, but we'll see. I'm gonna try it. If not, we'll just roll with it the rest of today, but we'll see. I'll let you guys know how it's going. I'm hoping I like it. The reviews are really bad so far. Like, I think the worst out of any of this book so far, which is crazy. So I don't know if it's people like are just fed up, like this was the final straw kind of book, or if it's legitimately that bad. Because I really didn't like The Only One Left, and that one has a pretty high review compared to like a lot of his other books that are more recent. I am curious why people are not liking it. So anyway, we're gonna attempt to read this in the time, kind of just reverse it 12 hours and see what happens. So I did actually keep up with this for the time for a while, and then I realized that I hate this book. So I was just like, I put it on 2.5 speed, and we're just going to read it when I feel like it and try to get through. I'm still gonna try and finish it today. I'm just definitely not gonna drag it out until 7 o'clock tonight because I am at, let's see, I am at midnight. And I think it is 1 o'clock. So theoretically, I would catch up really fast and then I would pause and then wait and then read it per each hour. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. This is so horrifically boring. And I think it's almost because I wouldn't classify this as like a murder. Well, I don't know anything going into Riley Sager books. I just read them as they come out. And that was a mistake this time around because apparently it is more of like a historical fiction murder mystery kind of thing, and that's definitely what it reads like. And I generally don't like them, like anything with historical fiction. I do like some Agatha Christie novels, but generally they're pretty short. This is like a long Agatha Christie novel, but it doesn't have any of like the fun, super crazy stuff going on. I feel like this is the first time that not reading a synopsis really has bitten me in the butt. Like, I feel like it happens sometimes, but this one This one really got me because I just assumed this was going to be like a normal Riley Sager. All I knew about it was that it was going to take place on a train, and it's kind of like a Murder on the Orient Express situation. And it does have those vibes a little bit, but it is heavy historical fiction. Like, this takes place during World War II, I think. Yeah, 1942. And it's like heavily focused on politics and wartime. And I was not really expecting that. And it just doesn't really feel like a murder mystery. Like, I'm what did I say? I'm I'm on chapter 18, 162 pages into this. And I have zero opinions. I don't like any of the decisions that have been made, because at first I thought it was going to be kind of like Clue, like if you've seen the movie, because it was like, oh, I have vengeance and these are all the reasons, all these people know each other, etc. And so I thought it was going to be like Clue in that way, but it's not. There's nothing fun about this book, and that's why I like Riley Sager books, is normally they're fun. There's nothing fun about this book. There's nothing interesting. There's nothing really at all that is making me remotely interested in continuing this. I would have to say the only good thing is the audiobook narrator is really good. But otherwise, this probably now, it's close. I did not like Lock Every Door, but I kind of want to reread that one. Lock Every Door is kind of one that I want to reread. This probably is my next least favorite. Like, I even liked Middle of the Night better than this so far, but we'll see. The ending could really surprise me, and I could really like the ending. But as of right now, I'm so painfully bored. And at least with Riley Sager books, even if I don't love the book, it's at least entertaining. Weird things happen. Like, The House Across the Lake is not a good book, but I loved it because it was wildly entertaining. Like, there was never a moment that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm bored. That book was a wild ride. And that's like how all his books normally are, I feel like, until recently. I feel like we're going on a downward trend, at least for me, because I did not like The Only One Left. I think I gave it a 3.5. I think I gave, or 3.75. It was fine. At the time I read it, I was like entertained, but I didn't love the twists in that one. And then Middle of the Night, I gave a 3.5, but it's probably closer to a 3, and that one was also really boring. This one's looking at a 2 right now, because I don't like anything that is happening in this book. And I definitely, again, think that could be a historical fiction aspect of this, but I'm just like, I'm just not interested. I'm not interested. I don't like any of the characters. I think the motivations behind, which is really sad because this is my favorite spine by far. The motivations behind this, like the story happening behind this, it's just not very interesting. Like, it's really sad. It's just not very interesting. Like, I don't really care. It's just a bunch of wealthy people like going after each other. I mean, that's what it is. It's like a bunch of billionaires going after each other. And I just don't care. I don't care. So I'm going to continue reading it. I don't know what else to talk about. Like, I legitimately, like, normally we talk about spoilers and stuff, but I don't know what to talk about. Like, the death was what? Judd? I think Judd was the one who died. Also, way too many immediately perspectives. That was so annoying. I think the only thing interesting right now is the Dante character. Dante is actually kind of an interesting character because he's separated from everything that's going on. I did think it was interesting I clocked it right away though. I feel like it wasn't supposed to be a surprise, but random passenger comes onto the train, and yeah, it turns out that he's somebody who knows what's going on. So I'm curious if he is an FBI agent or if he is somebody who is assassinating people or something like that. That's how I see him as. I kind of just assumed he was an FBI agent. And then they're trying to make you think Seamus is killing people because he has those pills, but it actually looks like it's rat poison that did it, so we don't know there. But it's so, I don't know. I don't find it very interesting or compelling of a read, and I really am not too interested to know what happens. Like, I don't really care. If it wasn't for a book club and it wasn't a Riley Sager book, and where I'm like, okay, I'm holding out hope that something may happen at the end, I probably would have DNF'd this. So, we're going to continue reading. I don't know if I'll update again until the end. I really don't, because I don't really have that much to say about this book. I am still sick. I'm still sick. I'm still angry about it. I'm still very annoyed. But it's been 2 days since I have finished With a Vengeance, and I was too sick to do an update before, and I'm kind of stuck at home right now because my dog is having one of his, hi honey, he's having one of his dementia episodes. He's an old dog, he's 15 years old. He gets these little episodes that he has, and he just gets upset, and he started having like muscle spasms. So if he is totally asleep, wakes up and then runs around, he'll get some muscle spasms. So he's having muscle spasms this morning, and he does not deal with them very well. The vet said that she doesn't think they actually hurt him, they just like weird him out, and it kind of triggers anxiety episodes. So he is dealing with that right now. So I'm watching him. I figure I will wake up enough, eat something, and then do my With a Vengeance wrap up. And I have to do the intro to this video as well, because when I started reading this, I was very sick. And I'm still sick, but I'm not as bad as I was before, so I will be able to do the intro after I film this. But this, I'm really mad. I'm really, really mad because Bare Bones and Midnight Soil was probably a 2-star, I think is what I said. And so I really had high hopes for this one. I had high hopes for this one. I hate doing 2 book clubs in a row where I'm really not vibing with the book. This is a 1-star. This is the worst Riley Sager book I've ever read, and I'm so disappointed about it. And I actually do think some of it has to do with marketing. So we're going to talk about all of that. If you don't want to watch a rant review, just know I gave it a 1-star. Let me know down below what you gave it and what you thought about the book, if you enjoyed it, if you didn't, etc. But otherwise, we're going to get into why I think this is Riley Sager's worst book. Easily, hands down worst book. So first of all, it was marketed completely incorrectly. This is a historical fiction with a mystery in it. That's really what this is. I mean, I was not expecting the amount of politics discussing in it. Like, I was not expecting that amount of politics. I wasn't expecting the amount of wartime talk, the amount of talk about the Nazis. That was totally like, whoa, I was not expecting that whatsoever. I also was not expecting the fact that this really did feel like a poorly done ripoff of an Agatha Christie novel. Like, Agatha Christie, she can have multiple twists. Like, a lot of times there's like a twist and then there's another twist. And Riley Sager is known to do that. But this had 7,000 twists in it, and some of them didn't even make any sense. This also turned into like an Indiana Jones movie at one point with the chase scene on the top of the train. That was wild, and like not in a good way, like not for what this is. And it was just so beyond mismarketed. This, to me, is historical fiction primarily, and then a mystery secondary. Like, I don't know. Like, and I get it. I get there is like a massive mystery in this, but kind of not really, because I feel like you know from pretty early on that all these people did something bad. You just don't know like what to like what extent, and you don't know who's killing people. But because it's so convoluted, it feels like you never ever would have been able to guess, which is one of my other major pet peeves, is you never ever would have been able to tell who actually did it. So you're just kind of along for this ride, which sometimes can be fun, but other times is incredibly frustrating. And I do think this lands in the incredibly frustrating territory. I'm not gonna go full recap of this because it's honestly really hard to do that, like, because it is so all over the place. I'm trying to think about how to recap this as best as I can, and I just don't think there's a good way to do that, because we have our main character who obviously has been betrayed by all these people and has set up this elaborate thing, which again, the motivations behind this are just absolutely bizarre. Like, you invite these awful people who destroyed your family, and you just want to sit on the train and watch them suffer as you deliver them to Chicago to be arrested. Like, you had to know it was not going to go smoothly. Like, you had to know that these people were probably going to join together and try to kill you. Like, honestly, the very first thing these people probably would have done would just have been to kill her, and they would have found a way to do it, because it's a very long train ride. It's a 12-hour train ride. And there's no way that they wouldn't have killed her. And the poor planning. So she has her little buddy that she's brought on board, whose family was also ripped apart because of the situation that happened in this. Basically, there was a plot to take down this train company, and this group of people worked together to explode this train, frame the owner of the train, which also just doesn't make that much sense. Like, it just really didn't. Like, all the motivations, everything just didn't make sense for any of this. So then you have a character die. Turns out that they faked their death, and then they go on and kill somebody else. And then another person dies and they fake their death, and then you have like a person who's randomly on this train who's not supposed to be, and they're an FBI agent, but it turns out that they also had their family ripped apart by this train accident, so they showed up so that they could kill people, but they only kill like one person because another person, it turned out he was working with them, that they faked their death as well. And it was just so absurd. Like I said, I'm not gonna go into the intricacies. That is basically it. And then you had the guy that she was friends with. Turns out he's got some medical condition, so he actually ended up killing somebody, but it turns out he only killed one person, and then he jumps off the train. And then it turns out that the conductor the whole time was not actually the conductor she thought was in there. It was the owner of the train who was the mastermind behind everything, and then he was arrested in Chicago. I don't know why this man would have gotten on this train to begin with. Like, he would have flown to another country if he had even a whiff of knowing what was going on. Because that's what the guy said. He was like, oh, I knew what was going on from the beginning. And it was like, if you did, why did you get on the train in the first place? Like, that's idiotic. Like, I don't understand. Like, it made no sense that he delivered himself to Chicago. Like, it made absolutely zero sense. So not only was this book absolutely convoluted with just everything, with the amount of fake deaths, the amount of just deaths in general by random people, because I think there was 3 or 4 different killers in the book. And then my favorite, aka least favorite part, is the fact that our main character would run around screaming from room to room, and suddenly she'd be like, I laid in wait because I actually knew exactly what was happening the whole time. And it was like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Based on how you were acting, you did not know. Like, this is some retcon bullshit by Riley Sager to be like, actually, she knew the whole time and was just playing it up and she was faking all this stuff happening. And it was just like, no, like, she didn't know. Like, oh my gosh. So I generally hated everything about this book because I think the first 60 to 70% of this book was so boring and dull. And then the last 30% was literally a whiplash sequence of events that made almost no sense. And then the piece de resistance is the ending of the book where the FBI guy is like, you should come work for me. You would be a really good agent, and gives her a job on the spot. And it's just like, what? What in the Disneyland bullshit is that? Like, so bizarre. So anyway, I was not a fan of this at all, if you could not tell. I would have loved to have broken this down a lot more for you guys, but I am too sick to deal with it, and I'm too fed up to deal with it. So I have made the executive decision. I hope I hold to this because knowing me, I will not hold myself to this. But I made the executive decision that we're not going to be reading the Riley Sager next year for book club. I will be reading it. If he comes out with another book, I probably will be reading it, but we will not be reading it for book club. So maybe in July we'll pick some other, maybe a debut author or something to give chance to another author, because clearly this one is grinding my gears and I can't do it anymore. So anyway, 1 star. Very much did not enjoy this. Easily my worst Riley Sager book, sadly. I had so much high hope for this one. Like, it's such a beautiful book. It's my favorite cover of his. I love this cover and I love this spine. It is my least favorite book by him, but I still am probably keeping it because I have his whole collection. So we'll see. I might just order them in like favorite to least favorite on my bookshelf, but I do plan to keep it just because we'll see. This could be one of those things that I get rid of at the end of the year. So anyway, definitely let me know down below. I hope a lot of you guys enjoyed it. I have seen some wildly, mostly it's generally negative. What I've seen so far, it is generally negative, but I did see that I think Kayla from Books and Lala did give it a 4-star, which kind of doesn't surprise me with how chaotic and absolutely absurd it is. Like, I feel like if anyone were to enjoy it, it would be her. She was either going to give it like a 4 or a 1. Like, there was no middle ground for this one, so I kind of get that. So I would recommend, if you want to see a positive review of it, to go check out the Literally Dead Book Club, her review about that, because I think there's 3 hosts. Elias gave it 2. I think it was Kayla and then Chantel both gave it 4. So if you want to see a more positive take on it, definitely go check that out. I did watch some of it and I could not grasp the positivity of it, but if you enjoyed it and you want to see that, definitely go check that out. But yeah, that was wild. Definitely let me know down below what you guys rated it, what you guys thought about it, the plot twist, etc. What you think maybe could have done better if you didn't enjoy it, what you did love if you did end up loving this book. And hopefully next month will be better. Next month is The Night and the Moth. I actually do plan to start it relatively soon so we can kind of catch up back on book club, which I guess we are caught up now because this was July's book. We're in August. Night and the Moth is August. So should start it relatively soon. I got some other stuff to catch up on, like reading all my BookBox books. We are a little bit behind on that, but we're working on that, okay? So yeah, if you have nothing else that you want to say, but you want to let me know that you were here, leave a, is there a train emoji? I feel like there's a train emoji. Leave either a cloud for like the smokestack or leave a train emoji. I would like the train emoji, but I don't know if they have one. But if they do, train emoji. I don't know how many times I can say train emoji without it. The word is starting to not sound like a real word anymore. Yeah, I hope you guys had a fun time even if you did not enjoy the book. I hope most of you did enjoy the book and I am just in the minority. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and I'll see you guys in the next video.